Me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB. But what I'm making this video right here about is me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB, Bigfoot. Yes, I'm going there. The reason this entire subject about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti interests me is because I believe me and Mrs. RFB had a run-in with one once in the Vermont mountain.
And then all of a sudden, from the top of the roof, jumps a motherfucking Bigfoot, and it was a 12-footer.
So, to me, that's perfect. Now, I never, ever, ever, ever thought something like that would occur.
This was not an 8-foot Bigfoot, it was 12 feet tall.
So, to me, that's perfect. So, I don't care. I just don't care. Well, you know, it is what it is. Period. That's how I do it, and that's what it is. That's how I do it, and that's what it is. That's how I do it, and that's what it is.
12 foot? It was huge. It was huge. And it got worse because, you know, the goddamn thing had a heart on, and it was looking at me like, oh my God, the thing's gonna try and fuck me or something.
So, to me, that's perfect. Me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB. Did I see it? No. Did I hear it and understand that there was something large out there crushing good size? Yes. Did I go back to the same spot the next day? I did. Did I make a video? No. No. If you guys have had an experience like this, leave it in the comments, and I will read the comments tonight. But there's so many reports. It's ridiculous. Going back to the 1800s.
See what I'm saying? It's gigantic. That is a huge fucking footprint.
She didn't ask any questions. If I get scared, she's with me, we're out. And that's exactly what happened. Me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB, me and Mrs. RFB. I've never seen it since, and I've never seen it before. Only that one time. Doing that is kind of difficult, but it worked. But something's wrong with them. She's gonna give me another first aid kit to give away. What I want to propose is, after listening to hours and hours of this, DNA testing on fibers and hairs he's found from Bigfoot. Yes, I'm going there. To get a DNA test on hair, you have to pay upwards of $100,000 per test. Upwards of $100,000 per test. Upwards of $100,000 per test. He gets conclusive DNA testing, and it says it's a hybrid human type thing. What does that sound like? He got the test done, he got the results done, and it says that it's more human than it is animal. I'm wondering if these Bigfoot are actually, because these things have the ability, according to, if you listen to anything about Bigfoot, people see them, people experience them. Am I saying I believe in Bigfoot? I'll tell you what, me and somebody else had our own little experience last year. I've been in the woods 1,000,000 times. I've never heard that. And then it dropped them. And you could tell that they weren't sticks, they were logs. Do you guys ever have any strange things going on around here? She said, what do you mean, Bigfoot? Right off the bat.